Okay, everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley, CEO of Dealer Synergy and Automotive Internet Sales, and I'm super excited because I've got Charles Wells on the phone. Charles, say hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Fabulous. And according to you, it's freaking awesome over there at Indy, right? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
let's just give a quick background. You are with Andy Mohr Chevrolet, and that's you right there, the handsome guy. You have the same hairdo as I do.
Exactly. Good fade. Keep it tight.
No doubt. Okay, so Charles, can you tell everybody your background really quick? How long you've been in the business, and what do you do, and how did you become the internet director at Andy Mohr Chevrolet?
Well, I got in the automotive business maybe about 2007. I was a branch manager at United Auto Credit Corporation, UACC. I got into the finance part of the car business. Then after that, about two and a half years at United Auto Credit, we got bought out. They moved everything down to Texas, and I got in with a CRM company, which was auto-based, now known as Dominion Dealer Services. I was a marketing manager and kind of account manager. I went around to dealerships, kind of let them know how to structure their business, help them out with the internet marketing, and just the overall processes in the car dealership. Andy Mohr was one of the largest groups I worked with. I was doing all their marketing. I'm paying them several visits. So at that point in time, the corporate office at Andy Mohr said, "You're already working with us a ton already, doing a lot of our internet information. Why don't you come work for us at the corporate office?" So after a while, they wanted me to come in and help with the internet marketing. Also, I've had a lot of call center background experience, so they wanted me to kind of come in and with the dealer synergy process, kind of get my feet wet with the dealer synergy process and kind of support the process here at the Andy Mohr Chevrolet dealership. But along the line, we had some staff changes, so the internet director position was just offered up to me on a full-time basis, which, with the process we had going on with dealer synergy, I felt it was a great opportunity, so I accepted it.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I'm going to switch screens because one of the most successful parts of our automotiveinternetsales.com website is the Dealer of the Month. I mean, this is really, a site section that I'm proud of because these are all success stories. And I think Shakespeare said, "Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are." And that is such a powerful statement because, if you're a successful dealer, other people want to achieve that level of success. So I want to congratulate you because you are officially the May 2013 Dealership of the Month. Now, I want you to tell everybody, what your internet metrics and units and success was. What was so successful in May? Let's talk about that. How many units did you sell?
We sold 113 units in May, which is 30 more than we've ever done.
Okay, so we're going to turn around and I'm going to open up a new window here. And I'm going to open up a new document. And I want to just kind of put it out here so people could actually see this. So you sold 113 units in May. How many appointment setters did you have?
We had, for most of the month, we started with 5, and we got another one in probably about mid-month. So you can say we operated about 5.5, because you only had one person for half the month. So.
Okay, now you had 113 units made. Do you know how many leads did you have?
We had about 850 leads come in.
Okay, so you had 850 fresh leads. And what do you think your residual flow factor was?
Residual flow, we usually average, without me pulling up, we usually average about 300 to 350 coming back over.
So let's just turn and call it, you had about at least, a total opportunity of 113 sold. So let's just say 1150. So you had 1150 in leads. Is that about accurate?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go through the stats because this is what dealers care about. They want to just know the number. So you sold 113 freaking units with yourself and only 5.5 appointment setters. You had 850 leads, and you had, 300 carryover. So I want to go through a couple things. Most people don't categorize their closing ratio. They think if you had 850 leads and you sold 10%, it's 850, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, but the reality is that you're selling more than just the leads that came in that month. You're selling all the leads that you have that are still active, that still are talking to you, correct?
Yes.
So if you look at this, isn't that crazy? Because you said it might even be 350. Isn't that crazy that the dealer synergy formula is almost at 10% exactly of total opportunities? You have 113, and my estimation is you had 1150. You might have had 1,300 leads. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay. So this is really a strong point here. I think that's awesome. All right. Now, do you know how many phone calls you all made?
We made a total of, bring my activity report up here. Let's go back here. That's month. It's processing for me right now. Give it a second. My report's just going a little bit slow here. We made a total of 154 plus 6. 154 plus 692. 15,776.
Watch what I'm doing. So we map this out. 5.5 people times 120 phone calls a day is 660 calls a day times 22 working days. If you take 660 times 22 working days, that's 14,520. So 14,520. And you actually had how many? 15,000 what?
We had 15,000. Yeah. 15,084 plus 692, 15,776.
Okay, so for the love of God, you freaking crushed it, brother. Look at that. The dealer synergy process is 120, times 5.5 is 660 times, 22 working days equals. Do you see that? It's 14,520, and your number actually was 15,760. So you went above that. Now, do you know how many appointments you made?
They made a total of 200. And let me go back. I'm just going through my reports. We're going through it at the same time. Last month. Made a total of 262 appointments. No, I'm sorry about that. That's showed. We made a total of 555 appointments.
Look at that. So you had 850 fresh leads, in the month of May, but in, obviously April or March, you had carryover about 300 leads. So you started May 1st with 350 leads, plus you had 850 fresh. You had about 1,150 to 1,200 total leads. And out of these leads, you turned around and made about 15,776 calls. You had 555 appointments. Now, this is what's crazy. Ready for this? So if you turn around and take 555 times 0.50, you're 277. So you are just a tad short of 50% show. But look at that number out of the 262 times 0.50. Out of the 262 times 0.43. Yeah, you were about 43.5% selling ratio. You see that? You did phenomenal. I mean, I got to just say congratulations. Do you realize, Charles, that the average dealership in the United States has 10 salespeople, has 2 sales managers, and a GSM or GM, and an F&I. They have 14 people to sell 96 cars. 14 people to sell 96 cars, senior managers and sales consultants, all that to sell 96 cars. You did more Literally, I would say you did almost 20%. You did actually 18% more than the average dealership, 17, 18% more than the average dealership does out of their entire store, out of your little internet department in Indianapolis. Is that crazy?
And yeah, and the gross numbers were
Let's talk
last
about
month
gross.
were
What was the growth?
front and back 288,602.
2,000.
$288,602.
Oh my God, $280,602.
Yeah, we grow. The dealership just was a monster gross month. We grossed almost we grossed over 700,000 for the dealership last month, and we are accountable for 288,000 of it.
Wow. So you understand that math is your internet average, per copy, gross equals 2,554. Is that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge.
No, congratulations, man. That is nuts. So, okay, so now let's just talk about this just for like another couple minutes here because I know that you're busy making money over there, Daddy Warbucks. But, okay, let's just keep it real, man, because you're young and you're killing it. And how do you feel when people say you can't make any money in the internet? Here you are, new in the internet department, and Dealer Synergies only was with you about 4 months, right, at the time? Okay, so after only 4 months with Dealer Synergy, what did you start with, by the way? 4 months before I got there, honestly, what were you guys doing at the internet department?
They were probably doing in the low 70s, high 60s.
Okay, so let's say 65 to 70, units per month. Now, you basically added another 40, 45 units about. Okay, now that's a lot to just add in a short amount of time, but especially the grosses. Okay, so now let's just ask the direct question. How do you feel when people say all over the country, in dealerships, at 20 groups, and on blogs, that you can't make money with internet customers? What do you say to that?
Oh, that's crazy. They're just out of their mind. I mean, half the people give us a call before they even step in the dealership.
I
mean,
love that.
They call us or they put a lead in just to find the information out. It's just, down from the GM down, everyone believes in the internet here. So I mean, you're not to be able to make money off it. Your process just isn't right.
Well, no, that's actually, let's talk about that for a second. You're absolutely correct. I think that, yes, you can absolutely make gross in the internet customer. 92 to 99% of Americans go online before they step foot into the dealership. So if you could theoretically at a dealership make gross on the show floor, those are almost all internet customers to some degree. You can make damn sure you can make it off of the phone or the internet himself. So I agree with you. But you also said something very powerful, Charles. You said that the GM and the owner and everybody, believes in the internet from the top, down. And that's important because if you're at a dealership where the dealer principal or the GM or the sales managers think the internet is the devil or it's a waste of time or the salespeople think it's a prison sentence to be in the BDC, you're not going to be successful. You came from being a CRM, consultant with a major company to being an internet, person with the stores to being the internet director. I mean, like, that's great, but, I think you're right. It has to be buy-in. There has to be buy-in from everybody. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes, it has to be. It has to be.
All right, I'm going to shut up, and I want you to freestyle. Tell me, what would you attribute your whole success? I appreciate it that you said Dealer Synergy helped you guys, but, what have you done? Was it the process? Was it the people? Let's hear from you. What made you successful in May? So successful.
The big thing is, I have to give a round of applause to the GM. He kind of, there were some people, GMs at other stores, so we were a pretty big group. We have 8 stores. Some GMs are, that process isn't going to work. The sales were saying the process wasn't fair. He stuck to his guns, so this is the route we're going on, and we're going to follow this process. Once we kind of discovered the Dealer Synergy process, we finally got the right cast of people to come and work in the department. Then once I had the internet coordinators, when they started believing in the process, believing in the scripts, and believing what they were taught, that was a major difference. You know, that was a major difference when they started seeing the money. When they start, to be honest about it, once they started seeing the money roll in their pocket as far as following this process and the dealer synergy process, it was a major change. So I mean, the big thing here, to be honest about it, is the support from the GM of believing in the department and just the overall process has been following. I mean, you can have a great idea this is an internet department, but if you don't have a process behind it, it's all for none.
Well, no, I'm gonna jump on that. So I heard the first thing is that the GM was basically a big catalyst in the momentum and the success. But I heard you also just say that almost, you didn't say it directly, but what I kind of extracted out of that is at first, you don't think that some of the appointment setters or the internet sales coordinators really bought into the process of the protocol. But as they started to see the results of the fruits of their labor, after they started receiving, their money, the monetary, gain, then they'd be like, well, wait a minute, this stuff actually really works. Let me work the system so I get more of this. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's how it turned out. I mean, because everyone, I mean, regardless of what's going on, everyone's resistant to change. So. And that was one of the big issues here. Everyone was resistant to change. My two internet managers were kind of resistant to the change. I mean, I took these two internet managers I've been working with, they were 12 to 15 car guys. Now every month, once I got it rolling, said you had to be at 20 plus units. These guys have been selling 21, 22, 23 plus units, having, $9,000, $10,000 commission checks at the end of the month. So. These were 12 to 15 a month car guys. Now they're 20 plus a month.
So across the board, the coordinators, the appointment setters are happy. They're more successful. They're making more money. Your salespeople that are 12, 15 car salespeople, as I just heard you say, they're over 20 units a plus, and their income is reflecting that big jump. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Now, what is that breeding on the floor? Like, is everybody like, oh, what the heck is going on around here? I want some of this Kool-Aid. Is everybody like jacked up over there?
Now, let me tell you this. At first, the people were like, oh, it's just not fair. It's just not fair.
Right.
That's the process they have. Oh, they're getting all the good leads. And then I broke the numbers down in meetings for them. I said, guys, I mean, one guy sold 23 units last month. The other guy sold 21 out of 113 cars. I said, that's pretty much 70 units went off to the floor.
Right.
70 units went to the floor, guys. And so we break the numbers down to them, like, well, 70 units went to the floor guys. They kind of see the benefit for the whole dealership. At first, the sales guys on the floor, they were a little bit upset because the two guys up here, when it was raining out or when it was snowing out, and in the wintertime when we first started this process, these guys would always have appointments coming in.
Right.
So at first they were a little upset, but then as we broke the numbers down, I said, you're seeing 70 units off of this process. I mean, some car sales guys downstairs sold 5 to 6 units out of this department. And so once you broke those type of numbers down to them, everyone's happy. So.
Well, you know what else I want to ask you, because I think that not only people should pay attention because you're the dealership of the month for AutomotiveInternetSales.com, not only because you sell more cars out of your internet department than the average dealership out of the 17,800 dealerships in the country. You sell more cars out of your internet department than they sell out of their whole showroom. But you are a CRM expert, in my opinion. You're a CRM, background. I mean, you work for a CRM company. So I want you to really just talk about the importance of CRM. I'm talking about not on the CRM side, but for a dealership. How important is it for, an internet department or BDC to have a good ILM or CRM, for it to be set up the right way and for people to know how to use it? How important is CRM?
Oh, to this department, it's the lifeblood of the department. I mean, first off, you have to have a way to manage the work that your internet coordinators do. I mean, starting from the BD side, it really helps me manage exactly what they're doing, if they're missing opportunities. I always go in there and do account reviews myself on the leads they have coming in and look for opportunities that they're not grabbing or things we may have missed on. For the sales floor, I mean, it's major because, that's where half the sales are lost is poor follow-up. And for the employees to know how to use a CRM is imperative because they have to follow up with these customers. I mean, our average customer is going to maybe about 1.5 dealerships now.
Right.
So if you miss the opportunity to follow up, the next dealership down the street may grab this customer. I mean, because they are not shopping around like they used to. So you have to follow up with these customers and stay on top of them. And you have to be able to utilize your CRM to do that. The days of using a Rolodex or sticky notes and all that good stuff it's done. You know, the CRM helps you out with your marketing. It helps you out with your analytics. Helps you out with your inventory. I mean, a proper CRM it helps the whole dealership function properly, from service to sales to anything.
Doesn't it blow you away that there's certain dealerships that don't have control of their CRM, and they wonder why that they can't make good educated decisions to steer or chiropractic align their department, garbage in, garbage out. So, you know, this is really important. I hope that the thousands of people that are going to listen to this or see this and our automotive community will take the fact that here you go, you take, you know, a internet department at a single point Chevy dealership in the Indianapolis area, then they're able to go from doing 65 units to 113. And you're not stopping there, by the way, right? You're looking at more cars? Like, there you go. I'll go back to that in a second. And you know, you're selling all these cars with only 5 appointment setters, 5.5 appointment setters at the time. And you know, how are you doing it? I mean, again, you have the buy-in from the management. You have the you know, through trial and error, you have the success of the individual frontline appointment setters that are bought into the process, because as they see success, they get more confidence, they get more excitement. So again, you know, basically, so it took a long time to be an overnight success. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time, but it was right. I mean, it was right on line. I said about a 90-day time frame. I mean, right after the 90 days, we were kind of stuck in the area, hit a plateau. We were like 80, 85, 81, you know. But at the end of the 90-day period, I mean, during that 4th month, things took off. So,
what's your next goal? What's your next goal you're trying to break?
We're trying to get up to 125.
125. Well, listen, I'm going to open it up to you. What advice do you have for either internet departments or internet managers or internet directors or even appointment setters in the department? What advice do you want to give to the people that are listening to this? What advice do you have?
I mean, you have to have a process, whether it's the dealer synergy process or whatever process you may follow. Dealer synergy process works to a T for us. You have to have a process, and you have to believe in the process. You just can't believe it by word of mouth. You have to believe it in your actions also. And the big thing is you just have to get a staff of people who also believe in the process. That's huge. You can't have 1 or 2 people in the department, I believe in it, the third person doesn't. You have to build a team. You have to get a team among in that internet department that believes in the process, and everyone has the same goals in mind. So, and you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. I mean, you can't come in and have 90 call days, 80 call days. You have to be at that 120. You have to have your goals set out on an individual day. I mean, so it's expected. You have to set the expectations out, 120 a day, at least 5 appointments a day, and
Right.
you have to have the standards set in place, and you have to have the process set in place, and you have to follow it to a T.
I got to tell you, I am very proud of you guys, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm looking forward to continuing sharing in your all success. What you did is profound. What you did is special. What you did is not normal. This is not what the average dealership does by far. You are in elite status, and again, what's crazy is you're young, man. You're young on your path for greatness in this industry. So congratulations on your success. And congratulations for being the May Automotive Internet Sales Dealership of the Month. And I'm going to stop the recording now.